Hello everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you are all doing very, very well. So today, I know I was supposed to have an art story time video out. It's taking a little bit of extra for me to edit. I apologize. It is my first one that I have ever made, and I would like to put a little bit more time into it before I release it, because to me it's about the quality of content, not the quantity. So I apologize. It will be out either over the weekend or I will release it on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. But today, I would like to talk to you about something that has been bothering me now since yesterday, and it might get made into a big thing. I don't know. But a lot of people have been discussing what has been going on with Chantal, Foodie Beauty, and French Fried Gorl, and I have something that I need to get off my chest about this. It's been bothering me, and so I thought, let's do that today instead. So let's just get right into that. In case you are not familiar with Chantal, also known as Foodie Beauty on YouTube, she is a content creator who has been on the platform for many years. She has over 87,000 subscribers, and she has actually an entire community that calls themselves Hater Nation that has dedicated every single wake, breathing moment to this woman and every single thing that she does. Oh yeah, if you guys all think I have stalkers, you should check out who this girl's dealing with. An entire community is created surrounding this woman. Most recently, Chantal has actually gotten into a relationship and been experimenting with DRUGS. Now, I am going to put a trigger warning here because this video might become triggering for some of you. There has been a lot of talk on the internet that the man, that Foodie, Chantal, just because it's easier for me to call you Chantal than Foodie Beauty, the man that Chantal is seeing is apparently abusive, allegedly abusive. We don't have much to go on, but there have been some things said by one of her ex-friends, Shannon. There has been some things that Chantal herself has said on live streams that has led the Hater Nation community to believe that the man she is with is abusive. This is French Fried Gorl. French Fried Gorl has over 12,000 subscribers. I do believe that she did hit 13,000 at one point. However, she has lost several, and we will get into that. As you can see, her entire channel is dedicated to Foodie Beauty. Now, when she first began, she was going to be a channel that was not affiliated with Hater Nation, was not affiliated with Anti-Hater Nation, because believe it or not, the content creator Negs and his Negative Nation and some of his friends have actually created an Anti-Hater Nation community. You can't make this shit up if you tried, okay? None of these people have lives. They all sit online all day, stream all day long, and talk about people. They got nothing else to offer, so they sit around and they talk about people. I hate talking about people. Even this video, I don't want it to be about actually Chantal and Foodie Beauty. We're going to get into what my issue is in a moment. However, she began her channel because she was going to be against the antis, not a part of Hater Nation, and her original goal was to do some weight loss challenges, as you see, how to lose, not gain 100 pounds, featuring Foodie Beauty, weight loss week 1. So she started off doing weight loss challenges, trying to do Chantal's diets, which was kind of cute at first. You know, it was like, oh, look at this girl. She just wants to do some weight loss herself, and, you know, she's doing this kind of thing. Then what happened is Chantal drove while high on marijuana. And so, of course, French Fried Gorl did a video and discussed how that could be an issue, which I very much appreciated, since I actually live in the exact same city as Chantal, and her driving high could actually kill me and my family one day. Who knows? I was like, yes, please don't be doing that in my city. So I didn't have much of a problem with that. And then she began to react to Foodie Beauty high. And I was like, it will be nice to have a Canadian content creator, since French Fried Gorl says I'm from Montreal, and reacting to someone in Canada, since a lot of the people that react to Chantal are actually in the USA, and they end up getting some things wrong because they don't understand Ottawa, they don't understand the mentality of this part of the world, they don't know about all the places she's eating at or anything like that, and so they actually don't do much in terms of talking about her, other than sitting there and making fun of her for being fat, which I find really redundant, since none of those bitches are skinny. But I mean, who am I to judge, I guess, right? So that was fine. But then she continued to do the reactions, and I was a little bit confused, because then she had Rose Thorn as a mod and started to bring in people from Hater Nation into her chats more often. And my understanding was that she didn't want to be a part of Hater Nation. She was a lone wolf, which I appreciate, since me, myself, I'm a lone wolf. I don't like to be a part of any big communities out here, other than my goals with the anti-MLM community. I'm not a part of the actual commentary community. I'm not a part of the drama community. I'm not a part of Hater Nation. I'm not a part of anti-Hater Nation. I'm not a part of Drunken Peasants. I'm not a part of the Geek Room. I'm not a part of any of these people's communities, okay? Never have been. I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe she just wants to do some reactions. Then it comes out that she actually has some information, personal information. You see, an ex-boyfriend she was with ended up knowing the man that Chantal is dating. And French Fried Gorl said she had all kinds of information that she wanted to let Chantal know, so that Chantal could make a more educated choice about dating this man. So that Chantal could have all the information she needed about this man in order to make a proper decision about him. And that seemed okay. However, we have now reached an issue. You see, Chantal and French Fried Gorl finally had their talk. And I didn't judge French Fried Gorl for reaching out to Chantal. I actually thought it was kind of nice of her to at least want to help Chantal. My feelings about French Fried Gorl at this time was that she came on here in hopes to help Chantal. She said that she didn't hate Chantal, although she wasn't her most favorite person. She did care about Chantal. She wanted to see Chantal do well. I have the same mindset. Chantal, if you're watching this, I'm rooting for you. Go lose all that weight. You got a hot face. Come back. Show all these bitches what you're worth. I'm all for it, girl. Do it up. I'm actually watching this woman with reactors in hopes that she proves them all wrong. It would be wonderful. If you know me, you know I like the underdog. And so I want to see this girl become successful and prove all the people on the internet wrong about her. And I honestly thought that French Fried Gorl might help her a bit. I mean, she's going to give her this information. this information was apparently going to be what Chantal needed to know to leave that man. And it became a bit of a shit show as they had a conversation. It resulted in Chantal doxing French Fried Gorl's phone number and turned into a big mess. Now, I wasn't trying to get involved in all of that. I did appreciate the fact, like I said, that French Fried Gorl wanted to actually help Chantal instead of just sitting on the internet and reacting to her and judging her. I was like, well, at least unlike the other one, she's actually trying to help the woman, right? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Because the last few streams I have watched has been more about being a bit cruel to Chantal, being judgmental of her about the fact that she now apparently knows this information but chooses to stay with this man. And her chat has gotten really, really judgy. Now, another thing happened that I would like to discuss quickly because, it made me a little bit upset. You see, there was this wonderful girl in French Fried Gorl's community named Donald Duck. I'm sorry, Donald Duck. I have to do this because this is where it started for me. Donald Duck was donating lots of money to French Fried Gorl, and when all of this broke out with Chantal being in an abusive relationship possibly, Chantal doing these streams about this man and everyone on the internet, including French Fried Gorl, doing streams discussing the abuse really did trigger a lot of viewers. French Fried Gorl decided to take it upon herself to make her community a safe place for these people to come and discuss that. She herself talked about her past abuse and honestly made a lot of us believe that the man that had abused her was the man who was connected to Chantal's boyfriend. A lot of us believed that. She kind of led us to believe that. She never said it wasn't the same guy. She never said it was. But he was the only ex of hers that she discussed. And every time she was talking about Chantal and that abuse, she seemed to get really triggered about her own. And a lot of us gave her a pass because we thought that it was her abusive ex that was connected to this man, so it made sense. You get what I'm saying? But it turns out it was actually another guy that she dated several years in the past, who she knew when she was like 19 years old, who knew him when they were like 19. And for all we know, what this guy knew about Nader back from when they were 19 is not who he is today. I'm definitely not the same person I was at 19. So, irrelevant information. It turns out that any of the information she might have had could have been irrelevant. That got some people upset with her. And when she did this, a lot of her subscribers, especially Donald Duck, felt very comfortable in this community. Now, I'm really sorry. It is not my place to tell somebody else's story, but I am going to say Donald Duck is a recent survivor. It is very fresh for her still. So this has been very triggering for her, understandably. She felt safe in the girl gang community and began to open up. In doing so, she would also send French Fried Gorl some super chats to help support her channel, which most of us creators out here greatly appreciate. And it seemed like French Fried Gorl did. Now, she had gone and donated to Foodie Beauty at one point. And the chat found out. And they lost their shit. They were going off on her. And I'm over here the entire time saying, you guys can't be mad at Donald Duck for donating to Foodie Beauty. That's a silly thing to get mad at her about. We're not a cult here at the Girl Gang. People are free to watch who they want, donate to who they want, and whatever else. And it seemed like French Fried Gorl was on the same page as me, and she seemed to also stick up for her. Now, I don't have Twitter, but apparently later on Twitter, French Fried Gorl found out that Donald Duck had actually also donated to Negs, and well, that meant she was over, out of the girl gang, shafted, nobody wanted her around. And then it came out that apparently a bunch of people were complaining about Donald Duck trauma dumping, which is funny to me because y'all were trauma dumping in that chat the entire time. That's what the chat became. Everybody discussing all of their past abuse and their experiences, all sharing experiences and etc. So I was kind of like, that makes no sense. You can't get mad at this girl for apparently trauma dumping when you claim to be having an actual support group, which is what you called one of your streams once to talk about this, by the way, for survivors of domestic violence to discuss their worries with Chantal. That's what it seemed like you were doing with your channel. And so some people took it as that. And yes, they felt safe enough to tell their stories. Or I guess, trauma dump, as you would put it. Well, all of a sudden, Donald Duck is shafted out of the community and no longer in the girl gang. And French Fried Gorl is streaming about how she trauma dumped and it pissed off a lot of people. But I need to remind French Fried Gorl and her chat about something. You often say that if what Chantal is talking about is triggering to people, then maybe they shouldn't watch it. So all I would have to say to you about this is if what Donald Duck is saying to you during the super chats when she's handing you over money is triggering to all of you, maybe you just shouldn't read it. It works both ways, sweetheart. So I got really confused about this community when that happened. And I said, oh my God, did I join another cult? I apparently joined cults very easily. So, I got to be careful of that, okay? And it made me worry. Then I realized that after this, French Fried Gorl is reacting to Chantal being in an abusive relationship. And it's starting to get a bit mean. And the comment sections are starting to get a bit mean. And when it reaches over into they've had a conversation, doxing has gone on, and this has gone into real life, I think that French Fried Gorl needs to pull back. It's time to give it a bit of a rest. Give it a break for a bit. If she put you in danger by doxing your phone number, you should probably not turn around and do a stream to discuss how she's in an abusive relationship. I always worry about people streaming about people being abused because if you're not doing anything to actually help the person, you're really just broadcasting the abuse, putting more stress on the situation, and you could possibly be causing more abuse in the home. Then the last stream happened. I believe it was the last stream. It was a stream from yesterday, Thursday. And I just wanted to come in and just kind of be like, this has gone real life. Maybe we should slow down on this. And I couldn't believe what happened. The way that this chat reacted to me and then talked about abusive situations is absolutely disgusting. And I need to show you what these people believe about abuse. Because if you think that they're talking about Chantal because they care about her and they want her to leave her abusive situation because they're understanding people, they're all survivors of abuse, and they don't want to watch someone get abused, I think you're wrong. You may want to see what they think about this. This was the live stream that she did. And it is talking about how Foodie Beauty apparently was laughing while the man who she's with, who's apparently abusive towards her, was raging. Again, if this woman is being abused, I'm not sure why you would want to discuss this and put more stress on the situation. And that's all I was trying to say. When you go real life in a situation like this, you've gone too far. It's one thing to reach out to try to help somebody, but then if they react negatively, you just need to walk away. To create a back and forth now with this woman that you think is being abused by somebody is strange to me. I just had to say this. Girl, this is getting to be too much. If he is abusive, then all this is going to cause Chantal to be harmed. Please be careful. That's all I said. I wasn't being mean. I wasn't being a troll. I just asked her to be careful because if he is abusive and he was raging, like, I just don't feel like, and you've made contact with him and actually made contact with her and you're now involved in this situation, I don't think you should be discussing it like this. Listen to what happened both ways. As a person who went through domestic violence and almost lost my life, she is lucky she don't live with him. And she has a place away from him. She has no excuse. Women choose to be abused. That's what you are saying. And if it takes them longer than a few months to leave, they deserve it. What are you trying to do here for real? I don't care. You must be trolling, Queen. Women don't choose to stay with abusers. You're gross for believing women make that choice. You're ridiculous. She is not tied to him financially and doesn't live with him. Does not have children with him. So apparently, all of the teenagers out there who are still living with their parents who have all been in domestic violence relationships are tied financially, and therefore that means that you cannot be abused by somebody. How in the hell is Chantal tied to her abuser? They don't share their life. I can't believe you all pretended to know about abuse, then sit here saying she chooses this and she deserves what she gets. Yeah, I'm definitely the psycho here. Hi, Chantal. Because if you don't want to make fun of fat girls for being abused and you don't think that abuse is only physical, then you must be Chantal. But even Jesus can't save you if you're that dumb. Queen, she does not live there. She can choose to not sit her bulky butt in her car and drive over there. Be gone. Yes, because emotional and mental manipulation do not ever exist in domestic violence situations. It's all just physical, right? And I say, oh, now I'm a troll because I don't appreciate all of you talking badly about us survivors. We choose to be abused, huh? We are dumb if we don't realize and leave right away, since this is what their chat says. Chantal is now stupid for staying with this man after she's told this information by French Fried Gorl, and after he's abusing her, and she's choosing it because she doesn't live with him. Get a load of this thing. Don't ever tell me I don't know. Worst 11 years of my life till I could get free. If I had my own place, it wouldn't have been an issue. Chantal has no ties. If you had had your own place, then it wouldn't have been an issue. So there was no mental and emotional manipulation going on in your abusive relationship at all. So what was stopping you, even if you lived with him then? What, you couldn't get your own job and save up some money and then just leave? Because according to you, it's just that easy. There's no mental or emotional manipulation according to all of you. You can only be abused if you live with the person and you're tied to them financially and physically, right? So I said, if you do not see how you are all adding to the stigmas of us survivors, then fuck you and enjoy your stream. 11 years of your life in an abusive relationship and you still don't understand that abuse is not just physical, and that an abuser can have a hold on their victim emotionally and mentally, even if their victim doesn't live with them. Once again, teenagers can be abused in relationships. Domestic violence happens in teen relationships. When teenagers live with their parents still, they can still be mentally and emotionally manipulated into an abusive relationship. So how are you so dumb, Tara? And I really hope that you're not teaching your kid that the only way they can be abused is physically. And I really hope that if your kid is a teen and ever does end up in an abusive relationship, that you don't just look at them and say, what are you complaining about abuse for? You don't live with the guy. You're not being abused. You should be able to just dump him and go on with your life. Lord help that child. I thought you were a survivor like me and knew the phases. Sorry, Queen, but this is not about you. It's about Chantal doxing French Fried Gorl in exchange of concern exerted. Wait, so you have to do a stream about how her man was raging if he's abusive because she doxed French Fried Gorl? So this is a revenge stream? Like, maybe if we stream about him being abusive some more, then what? What are you hoping will happen to her? Oh, brother, she has her own home. She can leave any time. And I say this woman has been with him for a few months. He has a big hold. You know, guys, a big hold emotionally, mentally. I know that all of your small pea-brain minds apparently think that abuse is only physical, but guess what? There's also verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and mental abuse. And those things can be extremely manipulating and have a big hold on the victim. And it can take the victim even longer to leave if they're experiencing those abuses than if they're experiencing physical abuse. They're all you survivors who apparently know so much about abuse, right? And I said, so no, she may not be choosing to be with him. You all claiming so shows me none of you have actually been there. And I think it's disgusting that you're all pretending like you have been just to judge this woman for being there today. So doxing and hanging out with known doxers is okay, but let's protect her? Sorry, her life, her choice, her consequences, and it's none of your business. Why are you even here? Why are we doing this stream? Also, is this about her being in an abusive relationship or is it about the dox? I'm getting a little confused. What is it? What, now that she doxed, it's all okay to make her get abused more? Please explain. Also, you're all worried about Chantal hanging out with known doxers, eh, Strutter? Well, you should see who French Fried Gorl and Charlie Gold and Life of a Free Spirit and DC Media Girls support, because guess what? Remember how Charlie Gold was the Geek Room stan? Yeah, the Geek Room's moderator, Anna, is actually a child molester and has admitted to having a relationship with a 13-year-old grade 8 when he was 19 and has changed their name 50 times on here to try to avoid these claims. And you don't seem to have an issue with that. Is that a child that you have in your display picture there? Because, you know, you think you would be a little bit more worried about the fact that you're in a community that supports communities with chomos around than the fact that Chantal doxed French Fried Gorl's Google phone number, which apparently wasn't even her real phone number. So I said, I support French Fried Gorl for trying to help, but you had to know she would push back. I thought you were a survivor like me and knew the phases. I agree, but that's why I am saying this had gone to real life. And no offense, but your hater nation and anti-communities all go real life. So be careful. If you want me to believe that nobody in these communities has ever doxed someone, you must think that you're talking to somebody else. You all dox. You all go real life. Who are you trying to kid? Because you ain't gonna kid me, honey. I just have one question for your little hater nation community. If the only way you can be abused is if the person has a physical hold on you and you're living with them, do you want to explain to me how you're going to explain to all of the teenagers in the world who are experiencing domestic violence that still live at home with their parents, how they apparently are lying about it? Because there's tons of scholarly articles, there's tons of information out there that will tell you that even teenagers still living at home with their parents can end up in dating violence. Because dating violence is not only physical and financial, It is also emotional and mental. The fact that you all claim to be survivors of abuse, but then you claim that this doesn't exist, makes me laugh. Literally, it can be physical violence, sexual violence, stalking, and psychological aggression. Psychological aggression, I guess, just doesn't exist to any of you. Did you know that women between the ages of 18 and 24 are most commonly abused by an intimate partner? 19% of domestic violence involves a weapon. And did you know that only 34% of people who are injured by intimate partners receive medical care for their injuries? So I guess you're saying that everyone else is just what, stupid? Stupid because they got abused and they didn't leave right away? Violent relationships can often be complex, and there are many kinds of abuse that can occur in a dating relationship, such as verbal, emotional, physical, and sexual. So as you can see, it is not just about physical. In fact, emotional abuse is the hardest to detect because emotional manipulation can actually take over your mind. Mental and emotional manipulation is abusive. And there are lots of people in this world that have not lived with their partners who have experienced other types of abuse and even physical abuse. And it does not make them stupid, and it does not mean that they choose it because they don't leave right away. I would kindly like you all to shut the fuck up and stop adding to the stigma that us abuse victims ask for it. Some of us return to our abusers even after we leave. Are we all stupid? Who are you to sit in a chat and claim that this woman is not emotionally manipulated or mentally manipulated while simultaneously claiming she's in an abusive relationship? But then you turn around and you say, oh, but she doesn't live with him, so it's not that bad. She should be able to just leave. She's stupid for staying after French Fried Gorl talked to her. And then even French Fried Gorl says she didn't want to help her. She just want to pass on information and be a part of the show. So I guess you're going to just tell anyone out there that has ever been abused that hasn't been physical that they're lying about it, because apparently the only abuse that exists is physical abuse, and you have to be living with the person in order for them to have a real hold on you. And you all claim to be survivors of abuse. We have somebody on there who said that they were in an abusive relationship for 11 years, but what, the person had no mental and emotional manipulation on you, only physical? What, you couldn't fight them off and leave? I could say the same thing to you. Why were you so weak that you couldn't just punch him in the face and walk out? He had no mental or emotional hold on you, right? Because according to you, that doesn't exist. And I bet you that would upset you if I said that to you, wouldn't it? My point is that this group of people apparently thinks that abuse can only happen physically, and they seem to think that they can all talk down on Chantal for being with this man for only a few months and for her falling in love with him. It makes me laugh a little bit because I'm going to tell you right now, my husband and I, we got engaged 2 weeks after we met. We got married 6 months later. We've been married for 8 years. And so when you talk about how someone can't be in love with someone because they've only been with them for a couple months, I laugh at you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Adults can fall in love at any time. It isn't for you to judge how she feels for this man and how long they've been together. It isn't for you to judge how much of a hold he has on her. If she is being abused, you should be understanding and empathetic to that situation, not try to make it worse, and not judge her poorly for not walking away yet. What kind of people are you? That's all I want to know. What is the goal of this? To hurt Chantal more? I understand that a lot of you don't have lives, so it's really fun to sit around and make fun of the fat girl on the internet so that you can all feel like you have some purpose. But she's being abused. So it's time to stop. This is no longer a show. Leave her alone. And stop judging her for staying in an abusive relationship, especially if you're going to turn around and tell me that you yourself stayed in one for 11 years. Because that's disgusting of you. I would never judge somebody for staying with somebody in an abusive relationship. Because I understand the mental and emotional hold that abusers can have on their victims. I don't know how deep the hold is. It's not for me to judge. All I know is that if this Chantal woman is being abused, none of you are helping the situation. And if anything, you're making it worse. And that makes me think you're a piece of shit. So that is what happened. And this is why I am pulling my support of French Fried Gorl. And I can't believe that you would pretend to have a community that's understanding about abuse when this is the way your community thinks about abuse and people who are being abused. You're ridiculous. She is not tied to him financially and doesn't live with him, does not have children with him. And you apparently don't think that teen violence exists because you got to live with the guy in order for him to actually be abusing you, right? So I'm sorry again for my art video not being out today. It will be out in the next few days. Kind of depends on my little one. The weekend she was kind of ill for a couple days, so I've been concentrating mainly on that. But it will be out soon, so please stay tuned for that. I just really had to get this off my chest because I worry. I worry that Chantal is going to end up hurt by this man if she is being abused. And if she isn't being abused, then it is very disgusting for people to say she is with no proof and to put that out there and then to have these stigmas added on to us abuse survivors. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. It took me 7 years to leave, and my ex did not hit me until a week before I left. So the abuse that I experienced wasn't even physical until the very end of a 7-year relationship. Before that, it was very mental, emotionally, and verbally abusive. And I still had trouble leaving without physical abuse. So I get very insulted by this. And I am sure there are other people that are survivors of abuse that see you make comments like that during these streams that don't appreciate it. Stop ending to the stigma that is attached to us survivors. Either do this properly and talk about it with empathy and understanding and care, or shut the fuck up about it and it's none of your business. No matter where you are or what you're doing, I hope that you have a fabulous, fabulous day. Take care. I will see you in the next one, which will be very soon, and it will be an art story time. Looking forward to it, so stay tuned for that. Think about joining my membership. Please do like this video. I am sure Hater Nation and probably even some of the aunties will come and downvote this because they don't want people to realize that their community is just about sitting there to make fun of a fat girl and how she is being abused, which again is disgusting to me. Okay, don't make fun of abuse victims. Jesus, I have to say that out here for real. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. And try and be a better person out here. Like, fuck people.
So you seeming jealous, it's not cute. Gotta put this bitch on mute. Keep on scamming everyone for loot. Then he thinks that we all noobs. Who? These bitches wish it were me. They want to delete. Pull the rug out from under your feet. I got the beat. I got the whole damn song now. Admit you were wrong. We won't ever get along. Shut the fuck up like I said the last time. Here bitch, I'll pay you a dime. Leave my name out of your mouth, alright. These bitches wanna be me, but